Alright guys, so today I actually want to talk about the Last Dagger. I am seeing this gun show up in basically every pub run I do in Void Erosion 30, and it's really starting to be a problem. A lot of people don't realize that this is actually a single target gun and something you should really be saving for the boss. Now, I don't know exactly what the root cause for this is, but for some reason, people just do not understand how to properly use this weapon. And because they don't know, they're making everybody's time in Void Erosion Purge that much worse. So for right now, I'm going to put two different clips up on the screen. One is going to be a perfect 2-2 team of 2 Gleys, an Enzo, and a Lepic. And the other clip is actually going to be 3 Gleys and 1 Lepic. Now, surprisingly, the team with the 3 Gleys and the 1 Lepic dominates the team that had the perfect 2-2 split. And the interesting thing here, or at least the reason it seems like this is happening, is because in the 2-2 split team, basically the Gleys refused to get off of their Last Dagger, and it slowed down the time to kill an insane amount. It was to one point where I ended up switching off of my shotgun and switching to my Albion cavalry gun just to help with like group damage to speed things up and help keep everybody alive, because we basically had no real crowd control and enemies were dropping out of Lepic's suck, which does happen, and causing all sorts of chaos. I think one of the biggest things people need to keep in mind, especially as a Gley player, but realistically as anybody playing Void Erosion Purge, is that area damage matters. And that's why everybody is using a suck Lepic to get everything gathered up, and then an Enzo to help boost everybody's damage, so people can just burn all of these enemies out at once. And that's why I think if you're on a Gley, you should really be using your Perforator and not your Last Dagger. I honestly think if you're using your Last Dagger through the entire run, you are throwing for you and for your team. Now, unfortunately, I know this means that for a lot of people, they're going to have to invest in multiple guns in order to play Gley effectively. And unfortunately, I think that if you are a Gley main, you realistically need to invest in 3 separate guns. You need a restored relic for when there's not a Lepic, you need a perforator for when there's a Lepic, and the Last Dagger has effectively replaced your smithereens when it comes to boss damage. Now, I'm sure inevitably somebody's going to jump into the comments and tell me that I'm wrong and tell me that they're clearing with the world's record fastest time by just using their Last Dagger. But I can tell you that I have watched a friend of the channel, Sin, run tons of times with Gley. And almost every time I've seen him run, he has used the perforator unless he was doing boss damage. Now, I haven't seen what his current best times run was with, but I'm assuming he probably hasn't changed things up that much. This was a video that I hadn't really planned on making now, and I planned on making this part of a, hey, this is how you play these characters series. But honestly, the prevalence of the Last Dagger in Void Erosion Purge right now is realistically starting to become a problem. And because of that, I felt like I needed to make just a quick standalone video to try to address this and to try to get a conversation started in the community. Just because you see a YouTube video or you see somebody say something is the best, you truly have to understand what they're talking about, what that build entails, and what that build is designed to do, and with who it's designed to be played with. If you are not doing these things, then you are truly not understanding the build, and at that point, you might as well not even be using it. This is something that has really been around since the beginning of time when it comes to builds and YouTube. Most of the time, people go to YouTube, they find something, they screen grab it, they screen cap it, they go to the game, they put it on, they wonder why it doesn't work, and then they go to the YouTube comments and they tell whatever YouTuber that the build doesn't work and they're an idiot and they're a liar. Now, I don't mean to sound frustrated, and realistically I'm not, but I do want to put this out there. Stop using your Last Dagger for everything. You are doing it wrong. Take the time, learn what works best, and stop making your teammates have to carry extra weight for you And again, I know saying that people are lazy probably isn't the right way to do this, because it's not entirely the player's fault for doing this, but they don't understand why they're doing it. They're just parroting what they see. And because they parrot what they see without understanding, they're doing things wrong. Let me know down in the comments if you guys are seeing the same thing I am. I literally cannot run Void Erosion Purge right now without seeing a ton of Gleys, all using the Last Dagger, and every time it feels like it is the worst team that I have been in. I honestly miss the days of just running into 4 Haleys, using Albion, and clearing in 5 minutes or more. But thank you guys for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video.